What is going on, guys? How are we doing today? For me, it's another day in the city exploring, and today I'm in the city of Hull, and today we will explore Lord Line, also known as St Andrew's Dock. So with that said, let's take a look around.
St Andrew's Dock became the home of Hull's massive fishing fleet when it first opened in 1883. The dock was named after St Andrew, the patron saint of fishermen. The dock officially opened on 24th September 1883 with a great ceremony which thousands of people turned up to watch. A procession of boats came through the new dock. The first was the Trinity House yacht, the Duke of Edinburgh. She was dressed with the Hull Docks Company's flag, and on board was the company chairman and teachers and students of Trinity House. After the opening ceremony, 102 special guests went to Hull Docks Company office where a magnificent feast was served. The Hull Docks Company office is now Hull's Maritime Museum.
Look at some of these graffiti faces, are really cool. We'll be seeing lots more of them, I think. Let's go in. Right, so this is why it's called the elevator building, or this is why I call it the elevator building. Because the first thing you're met with is this old elevator, which is pretty photogenic and cool. The next thing I'll point out is this sort of design on the wall, which is it's a bird. It's like, what would you call it? Dad will kill me for not knowing this. I want to say a stork, but it's not a stork. It's like a heron. I'm gonna say a heron. Let me know in the comments if you know better what a bird is. So let's head up.
Right from its opening in 1883, St Andrew's Dock was a busy, bustling place where lots of people worked. There were trawlermen who were constantly going out on fishing trips to the Arctic or coming in from a fishing trip with their catch. Yet, there were lots of other fishing jobs to do, and most were done at St Andrew's Dock or in the factories just off it.
Okay, it's a really beautiful day today. We're in March of 2023. It's windy, but it's always windy by this by the River Humber. It's always windy here at Lord Line. But today is a good day. It's a good day to explore.
Work at St Andrew's Dock and in the factories started early and finished late. It was tough and most of it required lots of physical effort, but it was also a fun and friendly place to work. Local historian Alec Gill, MBE, said that the work was hard, the bosses were tough, the deadlines were daily, but people loved it. They called it one big family. They took a pride in the place and their fellow workers.
This bit of graffiti here I'm showing for a reason is I've got a photo of two of my best mates posing by this graffiti, and it was actually the day, it was a weekend, the first weekend I ever met them, and we came to explore this place. So insert photo here if I can get it. Yeah, this one's for Claire, Rich and Lauren. Much love to you guys. Look, this is quite cool. This bit's just open, it goes like right up to the, like open out the roof. You can see the stairwell where I've just come from, where the elevator is. This one's been on fire, and I'd say recently as well. I can smell it. Problem with this place is it's on public land, it's all open, all the buildings are just open and accessible. So you get loads of kids and teenagers here all the time basically. I can't believe I haven't seen anyone yet. But as I've often said to kids in that when I've come across me. It's not a place to be playing, man. It can be quite dangerous here for those that are not as wise about exploring abandoned buildings. Kids certainly shouldn't be running around in here playing hide and seek and tig. It's not a good idea, kids. Stop it.
Lots of men called bobbers worked on the docks unloading fish from the trawlers. When the fish was unloaded from the trawlers, they were put into baskets on board the trawler and swung onto the dock side. The bobbers caught the baskets full of fish and tipped them into fish kits. Bobbers were given this name because lots of these baskets full of fish would be swinging to and fro from the trawlers. The men had to constantly bob out of the way to avoid being knocked over. As well as bobbers, there were people who sorted the fish and inspected them. There were places where nets were mended and boats repaired. There was also people who descaled and gutted the fish before packing them. The fish meal factory. Nothing was thrown away at St Andrew's Dock. In 1890, the Hull Fish Meal and Oil Company was founded and a factory was built to process all of the fish heads, guts and bones which couldn't be eaten by humans. The fish meal which was made in the factory was made into fertiliser for farms or used as animal and fish feed. The smokehouses. Hull used to be famous for its smoked haddock and tasty kippers. The fish were smoked in big factories off St Andrew's Dock. The fish were hung up in large rooms with hot smoking oak wood chips underneath. Smoking was used to preserve the fish as well as add flavour.
Mighty Humber Estuary. So this is our top floor of this building. Something you have to be aware of while exploring the Lord Line buildings. I mean, while exploring buildings, you should always have your eye out for hazards and death. Well, this is your first one. This ledge just goes to a drop onto them stairs. So yeah, always keep your wits about you in here. There's death drops everywhere. That's not a death drop, but that's enough to break your legs like. This room's pretty cool. There's a fireplace in here. There's a lovely, massive window. Check this. So the luxury of a fireplace, a massive window looking out over the Humber. A bit grander than the other rooms, which makes me think it's the gaffer's office. Yeah, you with me? I think so anyway. Yeah, nice room. Well, it will have been like 30 years ago. Right, let's head upstairs to the roof. Going to do like walking upstairs on Resident Evil. Sure did take a long time to get upstairs on them games. Anyway, welcome to roof 1. You really get some great views from this place.
St Andrews Dock finally closed on the 3rd of November 1975 when the trawlers transferred into the Albert and William Wright docks, which became Hull's present-day fish docks. It was once home to the world's largest deep-water trawler fleet and remains close to many people's hearts as a place where an estimated 6,000 men sailed from over the years but never returned. And here we have our elevator winch. Yeah, there's our elevator mechanism. Man, it's windy up here. Today, the site remains blighted with a number of vandalised buildings while the dock itself is heavily silted up. Oh no, we've got a gang coming. Can you see it down there on the road? People are always here. At Lordline, it's very rare to get a moment's peace. There's always people about. I think I've had my moment of peace. Now I'm just going to be seeing people all the time. Anyway, let's carry on. I'm gonna say that's probably it for one and building number. It's one of the smaller buildings, so I guess it's a down. This bridge you do down there, and then on to the next, which I think is going to be the main building where them guys are headed. Let's do this. Sorry about the wind, I hope you can hear me. We're at the Trawlerman's Memorial. Let's take a look around. In Hull, a day of remembrance is held on the last Sunday of January and usually takes place on or near the Bullnose on St Andrews Dock, which trawlers sailed past on their journeys to the fishing grounds. More than 6,000 men and boys lost their lives at sea sailing from Hull to put food on the nation's table since the 19th century, most of whom have no grave. Hull was once home to the largest deep water fishing fleet in the world, and fishing was the UK's most dangerous occupation of the last century. 6,000 men set sail from here and never returned. 6,000 men lost at sea. That's a shocking number, really. It really is. This has been the Trawlermen's Memorial. It's a pretty sad and somber place. It's just, like I say, it's shocking that that many men set sail to go out and do a job to earn money for the families and never get back. Like, yeah, scary stuff. What can you say? It gives me a bit of a chill, really, a bit of a shiver. Right, let's carry on. Welcome to the Bridge of Doom. Tread carefully on this old thing. It's worse when you get to the middle. Look at this. Jesus. I just stood on a bit that didn't feel very good. That is horrible. Made it across in one piece. Right, we're going to head to the main building now, just over there. The main building known as Lord Line. Let's do this. Life in Hull's fishing community. The trawlermen and people who worked on the docks and in the factories along the docks all tended to live in the Hessle Road area of Hull. Because life was so hard for the trawlermen and their families, Hull's fishing community had a real community spirit. There was a caring and friendly atmosphere and people helped their neighbours. Hessle Road has been called a village within a city by local historian Alec Gill, MBE, and it was often seen as set apart from the rest of the city. What was it like to be a trawlerman at home? Hull's trawlermen had a very macho image, which is not surprising considering the hard job they had to do. But despite this, Alec Gill says the trawlermen were quite dandy, which means that they were very elegant and refined dressers. The 3-day millionaires. Hull's trawlermen were called the 3-day millionaires. This was because they were only home for about 3 days at a time before they went off on another fishing trip. If they had a good trip, caught lots of fish, they would get their settlings and could walk home feeling like a millionaire. The trawlermen had only 3 days to enjoy themselves, and so they often treated their families to meals out, bought new things and went out to enjoy themselves at the local pub. Life at sea was extremely hard and dangerous, so Hull's trawlermen enjoyed life to the full. Let's carry on into the Lord Line building. A lot of businesses around here, it's like an industrial area.
serious metal steel girders holding up this building. Got another pitfall coming up. This is why you shouldn't be playing hide and seek in here, kids, because if you go running off there, damn, a good 20 foot down to broken legs and other broken bones. Not nice. We'll go back down and then up the main stairwell. And on to the main stairwell of the Lordline building. The heart there with the eyeball. There's loads of them at RAF Drift. I like it when I see, recognised graffiti and seen it in other places. Death drop room here. Death drop hall. Here we go. Pitfall, pitfall. This is horrible. That's like a 2-story drop at least. That's higher in my house. Right, so when I was here last time, I met a graffiti artist and we had a good long chat. Well, I said about all the holes in the floor and all the hazards, death drops everywhere. And he said that 2 people have dropped down the same hole. One of them was a ghost hunter who was here at night, who was messing about with a spirit box app or something on his phone. Looking at his phone, walking through this dark building, not concentrating, and he dropped down a hole. 48 feet he dropped. He survived, I don't know how, but obviously broke his body pretty bad, I imagine. And then also a young girl has also dropped down the same 48 feet, from what I've been told anyway. And I think this is your 48 feet. It is high. That seriously is quite a bit taller than my house. You do not want to be falling down walls like that. Man, I couldn't think of anything worse. I really couldn't. I think it's sort of like drop falling down where if you didn't die, you probably wish you had, because your body's going to be up. Oh, I like that. Look at like the cityscapes and the letters. It's cool. Just keeping my eye on that drop. I know where it is.
The Triple Trawler Disaster. In 1968, 3 trawlers from Hull sank within a few weeks of each other and 58 men lost their lives. The city of Hull went into shock, especially the Hessle Road area where most of the fishing community lived. People were horrified that this could have happened. The St. Romanus was the first trawler to be lost on the 18th of January. All 20 crew members were lost at sea. The second trawler in the disaster was the Kingston Peridot, which was lost on the 26th of January with all 20 of its men. The Ross Cleveland was the third trawler to be involved in the tragedy. It was lost on the 4th of February with 18 members of the crew. The last message received by radio from her skipper, Phil Gay, was, "I'm going over. We are laying over. Help me. I'm going over. Give my love and the crew's love to the wives and families." Only one man survived, Harry Edam. A total of 6,000 Hull men had lost their lives at sea, but this tragedy seemed particularly hard to take. Everyone in Hull knew somebody affected by the terrible losses. The sinkings prompted safety campaigns with the now famous Headscarf Revolutionaries spearheading calls for better protection for their husbands, fathers and sons.
This is the only building on the site, as far as I know, that is listed. With that being said, it kind of like blows my mind. With that being the only listed building over there, how come these ones are still standing? When in a way they cause such trouble with what I said, with kids and teens playing here, and there's always bother here, there's always fires. So it's amazing that these buildings are still standing, to be honest. Well, I'm glad they are, because at least I can still chill out and explore them, eh? I think we've got another gaffer's office. Here we go, nice fireplace. Another nice big window. Another one there, looking towards the Humber Bridge. I don't think you'll see the mighty Humber Bridge on the camera, but can we see it? Can we see it over there? Here's our dock, where all the ships would dock up. Touch wood, this is the least busiest day I've ever been to Lord Line. I've hardly seen anyone, which is good, but I'm sure my luck will soon run out. To the roof. Welcome to roof number 2.
The Headscarf Campaign. A campaign for better safety at sea was launched by the wives, sisters and daughters of trawlermen and led by Lillian Bollocker. Lillian was born in Waswin Street in the heart of Hull's Hessle Road fishing community. Her father, husband and son all made their living at sea. Lillian earned her nickname of Big Lil during her campaign to improve safety and conditions for trawlermen at sea, and became a local folk hero known the country over. The campaigners met with trawler owners and also with government ministers to discuss better safety and fairer working conditions in the fishing industry. Some wives picketed the dock to make sure that no ships left without a radio operator. Bollocker initially attempted to prevent what she considered to be undermanned trawlers from going out to sea from Hull St Andrews dock, and had to be restrained by 4 policemen and policewomen to prevent her from doing so. With Christine Jensen, Mary Dennis and Yvonne Blenkinsop, she formed the Hessle Road Women's Committee at a meeting of concerned family members, which ended with hundreds of women, led by Bollocker, storming the offices of trawler owners. The group was known as the Headscarf Revolutionaries. Their demands were for full crewing of ships, radio operators to be on board every ship, improved weather forecasts, better training for trainee crew, more safety equipment, and a mothership with medical facilities to accompany the fleet. The women gathered 10,000 signatures within 10 days in support of their aims in what they called the Fisherman's Charter, which was a petition to Harold Wilson's government to strengthen safety legislation. Subsequently, government ministers granted all of their requests. The result was described as one of the biggest and most successful civil actions of the 20th century. Mary Dennis stated at the time that "We have achieved more in 6 weeks than the politicians and trade unions have in years." The action made the headlines of British national newspapers, pushing the Vietnam War off the front page. Bollocker received death threats from some of the trawler owners and telegrams telling her not to interfere in men's work. She lost her job with a Waswin Street fish merchant in 1968 for having taken 3 weeks off without leave for the campaign. She was blacklisted and never worked in the fishing industry again. It took her 2 years to find work, and then it was only menial. She died of peritoneal cancer, age 59, on the 3rd of August 1988. Bollocker has been described as a national figure and a local folk hero. She was commemorated by a Hull City Council plaque in Hessle Road in 1990 that reads, "In recognition of the contributions to the fishing industry by the women of Hessle Road, led by Lillian Bollocker, who successfully campaigned for better safety measures following the loss of 3 Hull trawlers in 1968. Another plaque in her honour is at Hull Maritime Museum, a mural on Hull's Anlaby Road painted by Mark Irvine and Kev Largy depicts Bollocker and their connections with the Headscarf Revolutionaries and the Triple Trawler Tragedy.
Right guys, I'm gonna call it on this roof and make my way back inside as it's starting to rain. So yeah, let's get out here. Right guys, I'm going to call this it on the explore of St Andrew's Keep, also known as Lord Line. It's what it is. You've seen the video, it's a familiar place to me. The weather's got really crap on me, even though it's kind of clearing a bit. It's kind of clearing, but yeah, I think I've shown you most of what there is to see here, apart from this last roof and tower over there, but there's really not a lot to see in there. It's better to see from the outside. So guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm starting to get a few more subscriptions, quite a few more views, so just please keep showing your support. If any of you who watch my videos aren't subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? Just please give me that sub, helps me out massively, really does. Just the usual, hit that like button, leave me comments, anything you want me to do. I'm from the East Yorkshire area, so any explore or anywhere what I've not done, just give me suggestions. If you want me to explore something in your hometown, your home city, I'll come there and do it. Any suggestions you've got, anywhere spooky you think you should camp out, any abandoned buildings you think I should sleep in, come on, give me some challenges guys, I want some challenges. So just hope you've enjoyed the video, much love to you all. I guess we'll call this goodbye for now. I'll be back soon guys, much love to you.